That's how. Let's give him a clap. All right.
Thank you.
Once again, he's got the clap.
Donovan earned the clap again this week. Thank you for coming in and joining us tonight on 35 Live. Once again, I'm Todd Lebroni. This is DJ Everett over there at Master Control Center. It is Donna Johns, and we want to thank Miss Peggy Johns upstairs for letting us use her basement for filming our podcast. A couple of things I want to talk about tonight. First things. A newcomer here to the Treasure Valley.
I like that.
Like that?
I love that.
Mr. Sam Newcomer, an old buddy of mine from the Pro 4 days back when I actually drove around. If you know Sam, he's a nice man. Been through a lot and good friend. So he's going to be a real asset. He did a great job racing.
It's kind of fun having everyone to play along with us.
Well, we like being played with.
Right.
There's no doubt about being played with. That's fun. Hey, I want to thank our sponsors. Let's do that because we always wait to the end of the show when nobody's watching.
Hold on.
Hang on. See, speaking of technical difficulties,
Leave me alone. I'm learning.
We always wait till the end of the show. We're really lucky with the ones that we do have here. And Charmaine Shop, which pretty cool stuff, lip balm and things like that. We have Lazy Days RV, Jennifer and Jason Wardle, point leader in the mini stocks, I believe.
Still. And, had a good run this weekend. You don't
Your ass. We don't want to talk about that. I'll give away some Royal Purple power steering fluid.
Ooh.
So hopefully everybody's enjoying it. If you don't like the rule that we're following, probably Congress ought to change the rule on immigration. Fair? So it's the same thing in here in NASCAR, right?
Yeah.
Don't like that? Change the damn.
Hey.
Turning it into me, potty mouth.
Wow.
Well,
Is that what it does to everybody? Just start cussing?
that's what I do.
You don't like it? Go moonshine and drive it yourself.
But the bottom line is that they gave the win to Kyle Larson. Point margin victory between Larson and Elliott Sadler, 0.005 seconds at the line.
That Kyle Larson kid one of these days is really, really going to put it all together. What do you think?
Yeah, I think
For
so.
a track driver. He's
I
not
think so.
I hear he's a pretty good shooter.
He is.
he won.
And then last night's race, the Monster Energy Cup race at Daytona. Yeah, Eric Jones.
CJ.
F1 today.
F1.
British Grand Prix at Silverstone, driven it on iRacing. That's going to be a question now. Every time I mention Formula One,
Yeah.
Silverstone.
I don't ever drive that on racing. I don't think I paid for that track.
Sebastian Vettel picking up his another one. Another one. When the story of this was the pole sitter Lewis Hamilton getting spun by Kimi Räikkönen in turn 3 in the first lap. Lewis Hamilton came back today and finishes.
The Indy Fixed League in the iRacing because at Iowa all week this week. I ran 8 or 9 races. That place is tough. And it is amazing how much of that is accurate. What I was watching and picking up on the telecast today about the aero push and the way that
up in Wisconsin, Cedar Lake Speedway, they did the missing man formation during the 4 abreast parade lap for St. John's. So that was pretty cool gesture on their part.
Yeah.
So
Magic Valley. Magic doesn't make mistakes and he just wheels things, don't he?
Exactly.
You know
So automatically enters him into the he said he's going to go. So Trevor Christiani picking up the win. Caden Anderson from Yakima. Yep. Finished second. Another Washington young man, Hayden Plybon, finishing third, which is good because last time we saw Hayden Plybon, June 30th at Magic Valley Speedway, he was on his lid. So he came out with a top 3 finish. So
I've never been on the lid. I've been on my lips.
Let that one alone.
What are you going to partake?
We're not actually live.
People that they're watching.
Well, that link is the other show link, but because it's not broadcasting. So
you need to switch the links to make it work.
That's what we're on tape delay.
Yeah, we'll keep the momentum going Feedway. Magic Valley Pipe Super Stocks had double main events as well. Was your top 3 main event number 1, and then main event number 2. We're going to look at Mitch Pearson
It's
The 4 of them were the mini mods.
Brandon Adams and Wally Pearson, your top 3 in your Project Filter Street Stocks. And we go on with the Junior Stingers. I think I saw earlier. Yep, Zach Rydalch picking up another win for your Junior Stingers. Devon Felix, Brennan Bartlett, your top 3. And finally, the Sherry's Cafe Hornets. I can do the show by myself. I got no problem there. Local guy here in the Treasure Valley, Tyler Palmer, picking up the win again in your Sherry's Cafe Hornets. That's actually 2 wins in a row for Tyler Palmer. He's I think he's from Cuna. I get the toe out there to Magic Valley Speedway. So 2 in a row for Tyler Palmer, Justice Coates, and Shelby Dalton, your top 3 for your Sherry's.
Deuce Bigelow. Come on now. Right on. So a great field down there. Seems like that's always their biggest show of the year. It's always it's like an area down there that really loves July 3rd.
Yes.
And July 4th, of course, they have the fireworks and everything downtown.
Yep.
At the university, it's a big deal down that.
Yeah, and they had the trailer race as well. So I heard actually I made events.
Goes, and that's okay.
It showed. He mowed around Colton, he mowed around Brian, and kind of ran off in the sunset there. So
and people say all the time, why don't you put big tires on the rope? Mm-hmm. And you know, the Goodyear tire, the takeoff K&N tire, when they put those on those cars, it takes a little bit of time to come in. But a 2040 late model tire, whatever tire they're running, it comes in as soon as you put it on the car. So that's
a little bit of a different story there.
He actually made a pit stop during the race and had to come back out. So I don't know why he had to come in. I don't remember.
I remember what it was.
Halfway through
100.
Love DJ right there. You bring it up, and he's just.
Let's continue on here. So the start of the race.
We're getting dude out of here.
I can handle these guys. No worries.
I'm out, man.
So start of the race.
It was a long
time.
We start 45 at first.
Yeah.
Smell the rear gear.
Yeah, we started smelling something. Yeah, the rear.
You get the
was a water bottle that was burning. That's what he thought.
You know, this is what's weird about this particular issue. Because of, if you know a 9-inch Ford pump, and I build those, so I know that it has a stout where the pinion gear actually goes back to the ring gear. There's a on an axle.
Okay.
And you'll puke oil out there and it'll get on the brakes and it has a burnt smell. This smell actually was like weight warmed up but not burnt. And so and it was definitely synthetic.
Right.
So it was probably real purple because you bought a bunch from me earlier in the year, right? So you could see it coming. And when he would go through the corners and the car would go through a little machination, some of that oil. But boy, with about 8 to go, was it 10 to go?
It's 11 to go.
Probably about,
It
11.
went.
Yeah.
The whole front seal.
I also talked to Josh Panopoulos. Actually said he saw for about a good 5 or 6 laps, actually flaming from his vantage point. There was flames on the brake on the brake rotor, and he was trying to get the attention of Dirk, and you know, the thing actually just went up in a ball of flames eventually.
Yeah.
It's where everybody saw it.
Right.
But Panopoulos saw it for a while. There was actually flame in there.
When we went down there right after the race, who was it that jumped down there, got underneath? But they jumped underneath there, and I said, front seal? And he goes, yeah, it has to be. Yeah, it definitely was a front seal. And the pieces of the seal were actually hanging out on the pinion.
Yeah.
So he needs new 9-inch pumpkin from Meridian. And I feel terrible that if you've ever looked at that race car that Todd Seaver has, it's a gorgeous race. And
the other driver that had some problems in the car slowed and went to the pit area and talked to Melissa. Yeah, the thing just tough break for him.
Motoring, and you know it is they're getting on the gas so much earlier and carrying so much center of the corner speed that the RPMs are higher. They're in the sweet spot of the motor longer,
right?
And that's what you're seeing from like his car, and there was one from Washington that was
finished third. So
yeah,
good.
I talked to the Klybon family after the race. They sat from us when we were down there watching and said hello to them and thanked them for coming to Meridian Speedway. They were getting ready for the fireworks. They were projected up.
Yeah. So good couple of nights for those 3 drivers right there. The Pepsi Sprint cars put the wings on. They went wing racing, and that was actually a good race between Nathan Little and Rob Grace. Nathan Little actually picked up his very first career sprint car win, so good for him. That's what he told me.
Yeah. Oh wait, a little clap.
Does that mean he's not as affected as much?
Well, because he's little.
Oh!
I missed that one.
You guys know.
Sorry.
That was a joke. A joke. A little, because his name's Nathan Little. That was pretty fucking good.
I mean, we were tilt tank for a while there. It was one of those things that was, back and forth. He would stretch it out and click back in, stretch it out. And, talk about the race that is.
Thank you so much.
Enough, and whatever lights are on these. Some heavy hits there in the years past. So James Paul, Jeff Matuska, Todd Palmer, your top three. And there's no doubt, I think James Paul's probably the points leader in the horse right now.
Oh, we're sure, like 500 points up.
He went years back, and they've been on lease ever since. And since the
Good to have you on the show, Patrick. Looks like you had a pretty big week, and we talked yesterday, and I was you were announcing a motocross race or something like that earlier in the day there.
Yeah, we had the mini motocross state championship yesterday.
Oh wow,
Oh, cool.
So we know I've known Patrick for about a year now. I worked with him at an event last year at RMR when the Bob Copley's Pro 4 division went there, and I announced with Patrick that on one night last year, and he was, him and I discussed. He's got actually a background. Video.
So I until I started announcing full time at Rocky Mountain.
Okay. Were you all actually a motorsports fan in general as well before you became an announcer at RMR? Were you into racing?
I wasn't too into it. I would watch the Daytona 500, the Indy 500, just kind of the major events like that. But I was never really too into it.
Okay. Gotcha. So how many years now have you been announcing there at RMR?
So this is my third season announcing.
Third season. Gotcha. All right. So let's talk about the year so far this year, 2018. Obviously, it is the last year, right?
Yeah.
Todd,
Hi, Patrick.
Right.
Todd Lebrani here. Royal Purple
Hi, Todd.
Modified Series. We met you this year. Yeah. I was just talking to the guys while we were waiting for your phone to come up. How dreadful it is that we're losing the racetrack down there. And I know it's long been talked about. Can't fix it here tonight on the show, of course. But you guys have done a wonderful job in the Final Fast year. So hats off to you. Let's give Patrick and Mike Eames and the group a clap.
Clap.
Down there, you just got the clap.
You got the clap, Patrick. Sorry.
Thanks, guys.
But I don't know if you follow the show, but that's a badge of honor.
I wouldn't call it too much of an honor.
Yeah.
But fantastic crowds this year. In 2018, fantastic racing. Extremely impressed with the Maverick Modified Series and the group that's come out 20 plus strong every race for the last a month and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
And fantastic racing. So hats off to you.
No, yeah. I know what I've seen from you guys, the people who post the videos up. You guys are putting on a good show, and from what I've heard from your announcing, it's quality equipment you guys are doing down there.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Patrick. I'm going to jump in really quick here. I've been in their booth before, and that's one of the nicest booths, announcing booths at any racetrack I've been to. The Bull Ring in Las Vegas is a good one, but the one at RMR is, boy, it's top notch. So, Patrick's doing a great job out there. So, Patrick, this being the final year, what's in store for you at the end of the year? Do you have any plans to move on anywhere, or just kind of take it day by day?
Right now, we're still kind of in day-by-day mode, but we're getting a little bit closer to try to getting something locked down. The owners of the racetrack have kind of told the those of us on management there at the racetrack that they will have something for us in one of their other companies. Unfortunately, it won't be something as cool as Rocky Mountain Raceways, but at least I don't have to worry about where am I going to, am I going to have a roof over my head?
Right.
Yeah, they'll take care of you. I know Spencer's good folks, and I'm in the same industry as Spencer. So, I know that they'll take care of you. You might have to drive to Layton, but I think you'll be okay. Unfortunately that the racetrack's closing, but he's going to take care of his folks.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
they're a great group.
Yeah. So while we have Patrick on the phone, you had a big event last night. Super modifieds.
Incredible.
Oh, I'm not sure if you guys are big fans of super modifieds. You probably are, just like we are here in Idaho. But
oh, you're talking to him.
Yeah.
Like if you were talking to me, I was
No.
going to bitch slap you. Super modifieds are my lifeblood, man. Absolutely. And Patrick last night, the Royal Purple Modified Series raced in Hermiston, Oregon last night. So I wasn't able to attend. But holy cow, Brian put on a show, didn't he?
It was just something that I'm glad that in 20 years I'll be able to say I was there that day.
Tell us your thoughts on the whole event from qualifying all the way through.
So, of course, coming into it, you know, we've seen Brian before, so everybody's just kind of just waiting for Wharf to get out on track. Just kind of say, okay, we heard that they're hoping to hit, you know, 12.2s, you know, maybe 12.3. Track record before last night was 12.412 seconds on the 3/8 mile. So we said, okay, let's get into the 12.2s. He's thinking he can get there. Let's do it. So we're coming up. We go through practice. He hit 12.277 in practice.
Wow.
Mike Eames, and Mike Eames is just up there in the little booth next to me saying, give us something in the 12 teens. We need 12 teens. And so we're watching the super modifieds. We all love watching the supers. I mean, if you come out to the racetrack and you see supers and you don't like them, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're dead.
So
there's something wrong with your body.
I'll just go home.
We're having
They
a
probably
good time
like
just
dirt
watching
cars.
all of these cars, and it's kind of weird for us knowing in the back of our minds that this is the last time we're seeing them at Rocky Mountain Raceways. So we're trying to take it all in, you know, every car one by one, and everybody. We were all very appreciative of the guys that had come from out of town to come on and help put on the show for us.
Yeah.
And then when we see Brian come out for qualifying, you know, we just kind of look at each other like, here we go. This is it.
Yep.
And he comes out and he hits a 12.3 first lap around, second lap 12.164.
Oh my gosh.
Never going to be bested. And he damn near flat-footed it. I texted him. I said, how was that? He goes, insane. He goes, the G-forces in the corner I was not expecting. I could have went faster if it wasn't for the G-forces. Think about that.
It was amazing.
He was probably pulling 5 Gs. So, I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom that.
No.
My mini stock doesn't go that fast.
You know, all three of us here that are on the broadcast team here at Turn 5 Live were in the pits the night that Brian went in the 10-second range at Meridian Speedway.
Yeah.
And the fans and everyone in the pits was lying there. And we all, you know, basically we gave him the Dale Earnhardt thing as he came in the pits. We all wanted to jump on his car and hug on him and stuff because it was such an incredible lap. I'm certain that the feeling down at Rocky Mountain Raceways was very similar last night.
Yeah, it was just, like I said, it's just one of those things where when I came home, I parked my car and I had to sit there for a second and just say to myself, like, that really happened. I was right there. I just saw that.
That's a piece of history that just went down.
Yeah.
Yes. And Moyne Wharf, his father, Lemoyne Wharf, and Pat Russell, the car owner, Dave Yoshida, Roger Tilden, that whole crew has been golden for about the last 15 years with sprint cars and super modified racing. Unfortunately, with the accident that happened with Jeff Russell at Las Vegas, what's it been, 8 years ago? The super modified series kind of died there. And bringing it back, leading that pack was Dan Breach, Mike Eames, and Adam Nelson up here at Meridian Speedway, bringing the super mods back. And you guys had 11 of them last night that qualified. I think you had one that broke. So 12 total. We had 9 at Meridian. Last year, I believe, for your super modified show, you had a few more. I think next year a viable 4 or 5 race schedule probably could happen, but the cars are so dang expensive. You can't buy any of the parts off the shelf. You got to build every piece. So if you break them, holy cow, nobody's building them anymore.
You can't go down to O'Reilly's and pick it up.
No, there's
no junkyard pulling.
There's no more Ed Hiders, Mike Sipchuk. There's no more Tom Silsby's out there building these cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know?
So Patrick, switching gears here, you were mentioning this is your 3rd year, excuse me, at RMR, and this being the final year. Is there one memory of the 3 years that you want to share with us that sticks out in your mind? It could be
other than the obvious Royal Purple Modified show.
It could be what you saw last night with Brian Wharf. But anyway, is there one memory that sticks out in your mind over the 3 years that you've been behind the mic there at RMR?
It's hard to pick one because we've seen, you know, when we get huge car counts and you just come rumbling down past the start finish line, that's something that it's just amazing to take in. You know, when we see record time set, that's amazing. But for me, the number one memory that I'll ever have is walking up to that booth for the first time, sitting down, watching cars go around the lap, and saying, "This is my job now."
Yep.
Good for you.
That's awesome, man.
That's an awesome memory. You know, some of my favorite Rocky Mountain Raceway moments are the Lucas Oil Modified show when the two cars spun each other coming out of 4 and they crossed the start-finish line, wrecking into the infield. I mean, that was a great race. The sprint car show where we had 200 laps, you know, 450-lap segments. Incredible show down there.
Yeah. My memory was a couple years ago, the super modified race. I think Brian started like 7th or 8th. And he got the lead coming off of turn number 2 on the first lap.
Is that the one he broke?
No, that was the following next year.
Oh,
the one he actually won. Yeah. But he started like 7th or 8th, and he had the lead coming off of turn number 2 on the start of the race.
That's ridiculous.
Well, you know,
unbelievable.
Running out of laps. We were running out of laps. We only had 48 more. So whatever, 49 more. That's the way Brian looks at things. He's going in front, goddammit.
So yeah, so you know, Patrick, I like I said, I've been there before in the booth with you there, just a first class facility. You probably got to say, you know, how lucky I am to be at this first class facility and announcing with such great equipment and great people to work with.
Yeah, that's from top to bottom. I mean, they give me, you know, the equipment that I need to do my job well, and the support from the staff, everybody on management there at the track, you know, right from day one has made me feel great about what I do and helped me with little pointers, you know, especially Mike Eames as he announces races, and Dan Breach has worked every job at a racetrack that you can even think of. You know, he's done everything. And so he was able to give me so much advice that's helped me out and help me mold me into a decent announcer. I'm gonna do okay. You know, I still have my job for a reason.
Right.
So, you know, I'm just appreciative all around of the opportunity that I've had to be there and watch all these crazy things, you know, the super modifieds, we had the late models. We had the Civil War last year that was incredible.
Yeah, it sure was.
So just everything. It's been awesome.
Those of you that didn't know what the Civil War was, that was North versus South with late models. And that was a great show. Good friend of ours here at Turn 5 Live, Eddie McKean, had a car to beat that night. He was coming, and they went yellow with about 10 to go as he was about ready to climb into second place and challenge for the lead there. But great. Yeah, you guys do a fantastic job down there. The drag race side, the motocross side, the oval track side, all been fantastic.
Sorry.
Sorry about that, Reverend.
Yeah. Hey, we're back live, by the way. We got 11 people watching us. That's awesome. Thank you for being back live. But yeah, Patrick, it's unexplainable to me with my family being from Salt Lake. You know, my mom and dad, and going there as a youth to the Bonneville course, and my dad racing at the fairgrounds before he moved to Idaho. It's unfathomable to me that there's not a circle track in the Salt Lake County or anywhere nearby to go race a car. So I feel for my friends down there. I feel for the fans, but you know, the future isn't bleak. Something will happen. There's too many good people. There's too many families. There's too many folks that you know, are into this, that have some money behind them. I think we'll get something. Might have to go out of the county there, maybe even over to Grantsville area or something like that to make it work. But I think it'll happen.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I sure hope that something does happen, because I agree with you 100%. There's too many good people that are involved in the racing community here in the state of Utah for there to be not really any option for them here close by. And I grew up and I've lived my entire life within 5 minutes of Rocky Mountain Raceway. So, you know, every memory I have growing up, going anywhere, going into Salt Lake City, you know, we drive by Bonneville and see the big sign, Bonneville Raceways, and, you know, see the change to Rocky Mountain Raceways. I've been here through it all. I don't know what a summer morning is on Saturday without hearing race cars at the track, or hearing on Friday night, hearing jet cars blasting. You know, you can hear the sound 5 miles away.
That's really good. That's a really good thing to hear. A lot of respect, bro. Back at you. I got to talk about something, and I don't know how well you know this person, but we lost Terry Nish this morning, I believe. And it just dawned on me while I had you on the phone that the man was had an impact on my life as a youth, with Mike and Jeff and TJ and the family. Terry Nish is those of you that don't know, that might be listening in some other areas, he's like Kenny Hamilton is here in Boise. And Terry was a true gentleman, all the way through. And they had the Streamliner. They raced on the Salt. They had the sprint cars and the Frankenstein machine that they ran in the super modified ranks at Bonneville. And Mike even made it to IndyCar. Jeff's nephews, Terry's grandkids raced in my Pro 4 series, the Fillers, Chauncey and Channing. And I really want to send our condolences from Turn 5 Live, Donovan, DJ, and myself, and our fans to the Nish family. I don't know if anybody down there will be watching this, but classy, high quality people. And I just really want to say, I respect them tremendously. And to have their loss, I really feel for them. You got anything on that, Patrick?
Yeah, so we had Mike Eames had a statement prepared that we read last night at our race, and we had a moment of silence because, when you have such an icon of the sport, for this region, to lose someone like that, we can't do anything but just show love and respect for all the accomplishments and all the hard work and things that the Nish family has done for racing.
Absolutely. Donovan, did you have something for Patrick? I think you.
Actually, I was just gonna see. We had some viewers here, and I was gonna check to see if anybody had any questions for.
Oh, okay.
RMR. If anybody out there has something we're missing.
Well, thank you guys for sticking with us too.
Yeah.
Through the technical deal. This wasn't even our fault. Normally it's our fault, but
it's like 75% probably mine. But
I was being nice.
Don't put yourself
I
down.
apologize, Patrick. Right about halfway through your interview, we lost we got our feet back.
Yeah.
And we're working out of Donovan's grandmother's basement here, and sometimes all the cinder blocks that the trailer house above us sits on end up blocking the signal from the satellite off Venus and swamp gas, and Donovan's fingers and fat fingers. Anyway, so we got the telecast back, but everything I will want to tell. We had a great first half of the show.
Oh, you guys missed a tremendous.
You guys missed some great shit or stuff, and it'll be available on YouTube.
Yeah, it's all recordings, and so Patrick and viewers, everything has been recorded.
Yep.
The stream getting live was lagging, so we got that fixed. About 10, 15
Do we have
ago.
any questions for Patrick or anything like that?
I don't see any coming in
Nothing?
yet.
Okay.
But Patrick, as a race fan, I love what you're doing down there.
Yeah, great job, kid.
Hopefully, looking forward to seeing
you.
Here.
I mean, great job. I mean, you're making it better for the fans when they come out. You're making it entertaining, and I wish they could pay you double what you're getting paid, but they can't because it's racetrack.
$50 a race. I
know it, because you do a great job, and that's what Dan's told me. Dan's one of my best friends, and that's what he's told me. And all the fans down there really love you. So, hey, even if there's no racetrack for you to go and announce that, keep it in your heart, and it'll come back around for you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The one thing I like about Patrick is, from an announcer standpoint, is that he mentioned he did not have any, not very limited racing background when he became an announcer there at RMR, and he just grabbed it and grabbed the bull by the horns, and he he's doing a great job.
Table there, DJ.
So I'm sorry, I'm getting excited here. I'm getting excited over Patrick here. He's doing a great job down there.
Going orangutan style up here.
So no, Patrick, you're doing a great job there with somebody like you said at the very beginning when you had very limited knowledge in racing.
Yeah,
you
awesome.
You took it on.
I have very limited.
You took it on, and you do a great job. I worked with you at one time last year, and it was I had such a good experience with you there and everybody else there. So so there you have it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Patrick, thank you very much for being on Turn 5 Live as our guest tonight. You get the grand prize, the gifts of unspeakable value, which will be a power steering fluid from Royal Purple. I've got cases of it. So, and speaking of, going back to that, speaking of Royal Purple, that was also the sponsor of our friend Terry Nish and the Nish family on their Streamliner. And so the Royal Purple family sends out their condolences to everyone at the Nish family as well. Speaking of which, we're the Royal Purple Modified Series. I've had to go get Royal Purple from the Nish family and sitting there talking to those guys for hours down there. It was always a great deal. So appreciate you very much, Patrick. Keep up the good work. Enjoy the remaining couple months, 83 days, 82 days, whatever you have left of your season there. And, keep up the good work, and we'll be thinking of you down there.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the opportunity, and we'll catch up with you guys soon.
Right on.
All right, Patrick. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks.
All together now. Well, that didn't suck.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm just happy we're back online.
Oh, I'm just overjoyed with the whole day.
Me
I'm just
too.
tickled, like a pig swimming in shit. There we go.
You too.
You know, I gotta tell you about Patrick. You know, when I had the same feeling when I announced it at RMR that one time last year, and I walked inside that booth.
How many times?
One time.
There we go.
I had the same feeling as he did. What a you know, first class booth, first class equipment, everything. It was just unbelievable. So
Fuck. Yeah, it's a wonderful facility down there. You know, and the neat thing I love the most about the booth at Rocky Mountain Raceways, air conditioning.
oh yes.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, if we don't have it in our cars, you don't get in the booth.
No, they got it up there because Spencer Young would go up there with his family stuff,
Ah.
so they have to have it. But this year when we ran down there, Steve Castile, Spanky, one of my best buds, was
say
I
that.
love the guy, and he was working
Today.
the tower for me, right? And I said, I'm not going to get you out of that air, and he goes, bro, it's still warm out, but it's not that warm. And then he was up there most of the time anyway. And yeah, that is beautiful. And they got free sodas, free water, and free popcorn.
What? I'm in the wrong job.
I know it. You should be going to RMR. It's a wonderful facility.
Patrick, I'm putting you down.
You
There's
have-
a Pat. You're out.
Yeah, you have the announcer's booth. You have where the race director sits, the next room over,
Mhm.
and on either side you have the suites.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
The sweet life.
Yeah.
Sweet life.
Wow.
That Jackie Brown.
We probably shouldn't sing.
And it was one time last
Turn
year.
How many songs have you karaoke'd?
One.
Let's leave it at that.
No. All right, let's talk about.
Wait, we still
talk about
have
last night. Oh, we
this,
got- what do we got?
yesterday.
Yes.
we're not
So
done yet.
yesterday,
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
3 people, 3 different locations.
Right.
Who wants to go first?
Donovan.
Always.
Let's talk about Meridian.
Meridian.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess
July
it was,
7th.
you know,
It was the Tucker 2-point.
Yeah,
2
let's,
point.
let's talk about that first.
Fuck. 2-point blow.
2-point blow.
What happened with the Bionic Tucker?
You put a new motor in. A huge thank out again to my brother for helping out. Josh Phanopoulos for letting us use his shop because it was stupid hot in my side yard. Trying to get that and to everyone else helped out. My mom watching Manny. But we
Santa
got
Claus.
yeah, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny.
Everybody that helped out.
Anyway, we got the motor in. Brent Lamb made a fantastic motor. That thing sounds like a gnarly beast.
Lamb. The
Lamb.
other white meat.
The other, yeah, that works.
There used to be a slogan. I don't know what it is now.
But anyway, so got the install done, and it sounded mean. Got it all broke in, and so Saturday we had a couple. I mean, like every freaking issue we could have getting that motor in and going. But Saturday morning at like 11 o'clock, we finally got that thing kind of running, and we're like, okay, let's take it to the track, try to figure it out. Yeah, it didn't work well. I don't know timing or tune or what. It just had no power, no go. So
I'm glad he didn't hurt it worse.
right. So we just pulled it over, parked it, I brought it home, parked him in the side yard, told him no, bad boy. Went back and
He doesn't like the plaid.
shh.
Well, I have a friend that owns a sticker shop called Sticker Shack.
Yeah.
He can overcome that plaid issue.
Maybe, I don't know.
I know he's got a lot of blue.
So we tried real hard to get it out there. It was kind of a gamble to see if it'd go, and he was a no-go. That's okay. We're going to get into the shop this week. We're going to go through, finalize, get some tune going on, hopefully get a nice some Bando time on there as well. We race again in about 2 weeks. And hopefully at that same time, we, through the experience of struggling to get Tucker going, Kyle's car, we got the motor. It's all sitting pieces and parts and it's ready to assemble.
Kyle, your brother?
Kyle, my brother.
Oh,
Our beer wench.
The beer wench.
Beer wench.
Turn5live.com.
I'm chasing clothes after the show. I'm working on tonight.
Yep, we're going to work on tonight. We're going to install the block, get it mounted up, and then we're going to install the head.
Mount it.
And then hopefully, if we got enough time, we'll get Parker over here, Donovan Parker from Double D's Monster Garage, and make a wiring harness for it. And then from there, fire that bitch up.
Make a noise in the garage.
it's a bitch.
Pissing off the neighbors.
That's what you live for.
Right.
Yeah. Your grandma don't care because she got her hearing aids turned on. You just run her out of batteries, leave them on overnight, and she's done anyway.
Yeah.
What, Ma?
So,
yeah, we got you, Ma.
So we had double mains in the mini stocks. Will Ostrom.
Will Ostrom.
Yeah.
Ostrom, the big got it
Hole.
done.
Got it done.
Larry Hole. That's a
Ostrom.
That's kid.
Not even. I don't know if he's finished on the board this year or last year. The little guy won the damn race.
He won a race.
Green, white, checker, done 43 in victory lane.
Well, that's our unsung hero,
Right?
there, right?
Badass.
Unsung hero. Cheers,
Ostrom.
Will.
I've got water. Sorry.
That's vodka. Don't let him pull you.
Yeah.
Just give him the clap. You'll let Dominic put down his shit. Hey, not until I'm ready. Ready?
Good job, Will. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, green, white, checkered. So it's kind of an odd lineup at the end. So we had Ostrom, the 15 came in third, but he pulled into his pits.
Fast Freddy.
Pulled into his pits after the race.
Talk to that boy.
DQ'd. Boom.
Dairy queened him.
Let's see, what's his nuts? 88 second. So I think that bumped Wardle into third unofficially.
Shout out to 208 Tire.
208
sponsor
Tire,
for
yeah.
the Terrell DeFron car.
Mhm.
It's hooking
Yep.
me up with the trailer tire for my adventure
Sweet.
to northeastern Oregon.
All right.
Yes,
Awesome.
So, and then second main event. Did I get that right? Would you have the stats or don't you? What was the first main
Nobody
finishing?
knows. It's a secret.
First main. What it shows here. Did something happen to Terrell DeFron? Because it shows him coming across the line in first, and then Will was second.
I thought
So
Will had the win. Or second. I don't know. I know Fred got DQ'd. Oh, Ian. I thought, okay, Ian got fourth. So Ian got third.
We may be passing false information on Turn 5.
Oh, boy.
If anything will get us
The-
kicked
the-
off
the-
YouTube, it's that.
I don't care.
I can cuss and I can drink.
okay. Well,
Moving on.
if anybody knows,
Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody? Oh, we got somebody on there.
Somebody wants to
Oh,
fix the
29.
29. Yeah.
Danny. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna make this a mini stock show if I fucking want to. Danny Martin bought the old 48 car, the gray Mustang.
Yeah.
And blew it up.
Race car?
Blew it up.
That was like $18,000 motor.
Blew it up.
I'm sorry to hear that. Dude.
So yeah, Danny lost what 2 motors in like
You
a
need me
couple
to
of
help you
weeks.
assemble it? I done a 2.3 in my back.
Once or twice.
I've done them before.
So,
I've
but
seen it. I can do it.
Bollinger said that they were gonna
Raised
assemble a
them
new
a few.
motor. Raised them a lot, but yeah.
Pro Trucks were in action last night.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love.
Hey,
me some
mini stocks
Pro
had 2
Trucks.
races.
Yeah.
All that shit back, mother.
You're in
That's-
Spidey.
Anyway,
so
second main.
Fred-
Second main was awesome. Of course, Fred
Yeah.
DQ. They inverted the field for the
Fred was
finishing order.
fast time too. wasn't
Fred was fast time. Fred got
Mhm.
screwed.
Mhm.
But Fred earned it. Yeah, starting on the pole, took off like a bat out of hell. Wardle started fourth or third, fifth. I don't know. He manhandled his way in 1 lap to second. Used 12 tires to get through turn 3. Body slam.
Oh man.
Well,
The
12 are better
39.
than 4.
I
Right?
know. They were
Good job,
almost
Jay.
3 wide going into 3 on the first lap. Wardle's like, I got him.
It's my man Jay.
I knew. But got the job done. Chased him down. They had 1 caution when Ostrom love tapped the wall in coming out of 2, lost it going into 3.
Trucks.
Excellent.
Oh, trucks. That's
So-
off to Randy Kerr for
Oh, man, they had
11 good trucks.
11 trucks.
Good.
Well,
Well, I said like 10 and a half.
What?
One guy was slow.
I like him.
you're probably talking about Parker Jones, the junior Stinger driver from RMR.
Yes.
The original plan for him was to just race the truck races at RMR, but they decided to come to Meridian
That's
last
good.
night.
They
so-
everyone ran clean
You're-
for a truck race.
You're busting his ass.
I am.
Good kid.
Yeah,
I actually got to talk to him on Friday during one of my field trips. I got there on Friday.
Oh, cool.
Great kid.
No,
But
they
yeah.
ran a fantastic start to finish was
Yeah.
a fantastic race. I was telling you earlier, man, watching those trucks coming out of 2, once those rear tires got hot, man.
And the wall of voodoo's right there. You know,
That's why I was-
It's like, launch!
I was looking for some drive
Yeah.
lines.
Let's go 68 Firebird up the wall.
So a quick shout out to Hannah Newhouse. She was actually there
Yes.
last night as well.
Yep,
She
they
was
ran a great race.
she was sporting the number 97 last night. I don't know if you know the story behind that.
Do not.
I do,
Um,
but I want you to tell it because it's cool.
Yeah. So go ahead and add some information if you want to as well. But she number 97 is in memory of Michaela Grote, a young female driver out of Colorado who,
Very promising, by the way. Very good talent with his racing.
unfortunately, her losing her life. So, in memory of her and her family, she supported the number 97, which is Michaela's lost.
Classy.
That
Yeah,
is-
very classy.
Let's all give Hannah a
So,
clap.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, but Jonathan Gomez, my goodness.
that
By my calculations, third win of the year for Jonathan Gomez in the truck series.
And he's got a few in some other series too.
Right.
Yeah.
some rookie series, I think.
Yeah.
Your flipping hole.
I keep an eye out for you.
Oh, wrong.
He finished 2.2 seconds on John Newhouse.
Oh man,
So
he
Johnny,
ran 75 perfect laps.
yeah.
Work traffic. That was art. That was like watching Picasso paint when he was working traffic, going to the lead and then going through traffic.
I think this
in the
Jonathan
75
Gomez
laps.
guy, if he keeps this up, he really has a future in car racing.
I
think so.
think he might do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Hannah Newhouse finished third, Jason Qualley fourth, and Drew Wrightsma fifth.
Which
So-
is unbefitting of that finish because coming across the line, those guys were wheel to wheel.
Oh, they always are.
Oh my
They're
Yeah.
very Speedway, those guys.
with Quali. That was
Hannah, it looked like the margin of the difference between Hannah and Jason Qualley was
Yeah.
like
inches.
1/100th of a second.
It was,
So,
it was
yeah.
the last 2 or 3 laps. They
Where you
were.
put the transponder. Yep.
It was
Yeah.
watching Hannah get under him, try to go above him. That she fought for every inch and Quali. Oh man, that
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
That kid.
We watched him run a midget.
Yeah, in
Magic
twin.
Valley. Yeah.
Yeah.
His first race in midget in twin, they had a real soft right rear spring on it. He was lifting up the left front like an old midget or a sprint car does.
Mhm.
And he went out and passed Jimmy Waters, who been around since
yeah.
Methuselah walked the earth, and oldest Methuselah, and been racing a long time. Wins a lot, and Quali beat him in the midget. So
Yeah.
Jason Quality's real deal. And
I
Bruce
need-
Quality's dad, maybe the nicest guy in all of Twin Falls.
We've got to get Telford and Quali together.
I don't know if they're each other's type.
Well, I mean,
You might be, but
I don't know where you're going, Donald.
but for them to race with each other, not together like that. I mean,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't judge.
sure you don't.
Moving on. And what else happened in Meridian Speedway?
Pro
Force. We heard some stuff about that. You probably got a
Oh, yeah.
first-hand look at that. Ryan Bailey picking
One-
up his second win of the year, I believe.
Trophy
There.
Dashing.
Yeah, we picked up the main event win as
Oh
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
the double mains. So he got the first one.
Pro Force had double mains last night.
Oh, mini stocks did there.
Yeah.
Penis.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Push the
It just says Pro Force
Is
had
that
one.
the main?
One. Yeah, mini stocks had double mains, but this is
button. Oh okay. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, that was that was
You know
a
we're
fun.
live, right?
I don't really care. It makes it
Do
better that way.
we need to leave the reporting up to Todd and I at these tracks? What the heck?
You can.
Beer booth's worth nightmares.
So
Stop
Ryan,
it,
did
Tom.
Ryan Bailey pick up the win last night in the main event? Or-
Bailey
Yes, he
did.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay,
did a
so
great job.
second main event win, I believe, of the
Let's talk
year.
about the crash. Come on.
There was
Let's talk about the crash, yeah.
there was a fantastic
Fantastic crash!
What the hell's
it
wrong
was
with you?
fantastic.
Wow.
It was spectacular to watch. It got
Spectacular
almost
better
half the
than
field.
Fantastic. Fantastic means you enjoyed the outcome.
I did enjoy that.
Ask
That
Reason was fantastic.
or really anybody involved in that.
We're gonna lose our
Um,
viewers.
Right. No, there's a fantastic, a powerful battle of the 33 coming around the 12, getting underneath. 12 shut the door that didn't exist, and it wadded up half the field. So, but what? He came down on top of him. Chandler didn't lift. Dude, I went around. Everyone else piled into him. Cars in the dirt. It was raining cats and dogs.
That's how it was play-by-play right there.
Remember when we talked about all talk less?
You may have to pick it up a little bit.
So,
Here.
of course, as an old Pro 4 guy, it sucks when you tear up those cars because right
Yeah.
underneath there, they're as expensive as a late model or anything
Oh my
else.
gosh! Yeah.
So there's a lot of neat parts underneath there that got tore up by a lot of these guys, and a lot of them don't
There's
have the budgets. And
a
some
lot of
do it.
fiberglass got tore up last night in that wreck.
And unfortunately, like 4 or 5 cars went in the fence, and
Mhm.
most of them able to continue on. Ended up
Sideways.
still with a good race. So it the quality of racing didn't overly suffer. It was a bad accident. It was unfortunate that the two competitors got together, tore up some good cars. There's going to be a lot of wrenching going on this week, next week for the next race. But for the guys who were able to get them done, get it back on the track, Chandler, of course, got back on the track. Freeze didn't make it, and the 04 didn't come back off. I think 04 got the worst of it.
It looked like a really good race there from what I could see on Race Monitor between the 77 and the 39 of Brandon McLean.
McLean, man, that guy's on a tear this year.
He's on a roll this year.
Well, Brandon's always been a good driver.
It's clean and it's efficient. He's got that underpowered little 1.8. 1.8.
Yeah.
And it's really fun.
Ratio's fine.
It's been fun watching how well he does and how consistent his lap times are. So hats off to him. He's done a great job in that little white and green ride.
Yes. And
if you're wondering what I'm doing, because I'm looking at the camera now, you can't see what I'm doing. And behind me, I'm petting Donovan's girlfriend, Cotton. So if you wonder what I'm doing down here,
he's not doing anything to me. There's a dog over here.
There is. She's been a good girl all day, so we left her out so she could be a part of the show.
She's been great.
Yeah.
Super Stocks last night. Melissa Weaver already picking up another one. Looks like things are definitely coming together for her now. With that machine.
She had a rough start of the year, but man. The last 3 races now, that car has been on a tear.
Yeah.
And Melissa knows how to wheel it.
Yep.
She's
definitely
really good. So.
Definitely.
Yes.
I heard those apples don't fall far from that tree. They got some good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of great talent in that family. There's no doubt.
Does a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I love it when I look at the boy Taylor, because he's like 6 foot tall.
More than
and
that.
He's in the same seat position basically Marvin was, and Marvin's like 5 foot tall.
He's like 5'6" and $140.
And understand Marvin Weaver, I love the guy. I put him in the Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But Taylor's up there on that wheel looking like Donkey Kong wheeling a freaking Mario Kart around.
He's like Wreck-It Ralph in there.
He's throwing banana peels. He's red oil slicks. It's pretty good.
Gail Carter was second. Tommy Harrod was third.
Gail Carter's older than me. That's old.
That is really old.
So he did second. Wow. That's pretty good. Because
I mean, they came out with cars when he was your age.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Henry Ford had an idea watching Gail.
You should sure.
Heard Josh Jackson kind of had a
rough night.
Just about wadded his car up.
Oh yeah.
So saw the pictures of it.
Coming out of 4, we look at the damage. Have you seen the damage to the 00? Ouch.
Smash.
And which is awkward and odd. 1 year ago, that same weekend, it's when he wrecked out his mod last
throttle
year.
Stuck on the mod, the big block. Yeah.
So not nearly as bad a damage, but still that 00 Super Stock took a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
And knowing him, he'll get it back together and it'll run just as fast.
Knowing Josh is working on it right now, and it's probably almost done.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, it'll be
not until Saturday at 2 o'clock.
No, he just that's his thing. That's his knowledge. He's there. Josh is great. So
high school tuners were in action last night as well, and James.
High school tuners,
right?
Damn,
yeah, James.
I was a huge high school tuner fan
3 years ago.
Right
there, you go.
Back when I was in high school, and so speaking of 3, all 3 of them showed up. It was a fantastic race.
James Strickwerda picked up the win. Sierra Lawrence and Aaron Flagstad was your final finishing order, and the Bombers as well were in action. James Sheets, I guess they had 2 main events last night, huh?
They did as well.
Did they do anything crazy, or they just
Adam had said that they were going to do something really crazy. Okay. At the end of the night, it was just like, let's just get this shit done.
Yep. James Sheets won the first main event. Richard Scott won the second main event. So
the Ford Mustang, that poor Pinto, the Pinto, that kid took a licking.
And it kept on ticking.
No, not really.
No,
he got turned sideways, hit the wall, got hit again. But God bless that little Kia Sedona minivan. He was driving the hell out of that thing. And we had a Ford Bronco. The Ford Bronco was terrifying.
We ready to talk about Hermiston yet?
No.
How about really quick? I'm gonna go talk about my experience this past weekend. You guys gonna kiss eventually, I can tell. So
it's a heated passion.
So decided on Friday night, the wife and I were gonna go out to Black Canyon Speedway. I've never been to the track before.
Tell us what Black Canyon Speedway is for all of our 3 listeners.
Yeah. So we Outlaw Karts over there in Emmett, Idaho.
Little dirt track.
Yeah.
8 mile? A little smaller than Meridian's dirt.
Yeah,
right? From what I've seen in pictures.
actually might be about the same or maybe slightly bigger. But anyway, Brian Lev was the one that worked that whole thing out and doing a great job out there. But yeah, I decided to go up there and just kind of check out the action and hang out with friends Friday night. And before you know it, Brian Lev is walking towards me with a mic, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" And he goes, "Can you help out because my announcer didn't show up tonight?"
Did he say something like, "I've seen you on Turn 5 Live and you're awesome"?
Heard you had a show.
Yeah. Well, when I used to announce at OMC Raceway, he kind of but I was like, well, nothing like being thrown into the fire here. So I said, tell you what, give me some cart numbers and some names, and I'll just take it from there. And yeah, I walked away actually with he actually hired me on as his announcer for the rest of the year. So
bam,
Some
just
people-
like that. We need Black Canyon to become a
That's pretty
sponsor
cool.
here at Turn 5
Yeah.
Live. Is what we need.
Right?
So I want to give a quick shout out to some of the drivers that were participating. Chase Wilson won the beginner box stock main event both nights. I know his dad. They're from Southern California. They moved up about a year ago.
Oh, that's cool.
And Chase Wilson's actually brand new to kart racing, outlaw kart racing. He won both main events, beginner box stocks.
All right.
Box stock main event on Friday night, Bryson Barrow won, and then on Saturday night, Kinsley Acevedo won the box stock main event on Saturday. 250s, Ashton Christiani won Friday night,
Never heard of
and Landon Acevedo won on Saturday night. Open 500s, Tyler Drever won Friday night, and then Caitlin Lev won Saturday night. And then they also have a pretty good field of micro 600s out there.
Really?
And Caleb Johnson, Brandon Johnson's son, that thing's on a rail out there. He won both nights.
The kid's got all kinds of
Oh,
talent.
man, he does. He won both nights convincingly. So,
Mhm.
So there you go. That's what happened at
Yeah, he's going.
Black Canyon.
Brandon's good folks too.
Yeah,
All their whole family, nice people. Caleb's good people. Raced
definitely.
with them. We raced them. See up there, guys, in this picture, that's TJ in his outlaw cart, and he raced with Brandon Johnson and Brian Wharf, excuse me, Sierra Jackson, all that.
Yep.
And Brandon Johnson, Caleb Johnson, great folks.
So
That's the Volt Dapes go kart, by the way.
Right?
I have a friend that owns that company.
yeah,
Pretty cool cat.
their next race at Black Canyon is next month, August. About the second week in August.
They got some time off there for some reason because of
Yeah.
the county or something.
They run about once a month. They have a big race coming up in October out here that Brian's trying to put something together for the micro 600s.
Good.
Something about he thinks he's got about 40 micro 600s that are committed to this race in October. So
Yeah, that'd be fun to go watch.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like the 600s.
It's like the Chili Bowl,
Right?
The
Yeah.
little Chili Bowl the week before they run the 600s and the 1200s and the micro sprints.
yeah,
Do they still have the track over here for the winter, the Topher Classic?
OMC.
OMC, yes.
Yeah, that's
I haven't heard much of that. lately.
Yeah.
It's a long story. We
Yeah.
don't have enough podcasts.
There's
Yeah.
a whole nother
But
show for that.
essentially, it's a non-conforming use to run four-wheeled vehicles there. They're grandfathered in for two-wheeled vehicles because our former city councilman's husband is a dickhead. It's the Turtlings, and it's a long story we won't go
politics?
into. Yes, it's
Over
a
it.
long story. We won't go. And am I
Yeah.
right? I'm right.
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Right.
And
Yeah.
Move that shit over
that's
to
a
Black
whole
Pit.
Yeah.
different podcast.
I announced out there for 3 years, so I kind of know the lowdown on what's going on there as
Yeah,
well.
it's
So yeah,
Atrocious.
yeah, yeah.
Grrr.
Yeah. But I will say this, it's good to be working with my former OMC coworkers at Black Canyon now. Tessa, Shayna, Tyler Bailey,
Nice.
and
I'll have to
Andrea.
go down there and check
Andrea-
that out. I know
Andrea as well.
Manny keeps talking about getting carts.
It's a great
He's
track,
getting back
yeah.
into that.
I will say Brian's doing a decent job out there. Actually, a good job out there with that facility.
I
So
went to Sand Hollow a couple of times.
Been there.
Yeah, I like to go.
Yep.
I like Emmett. It's
Drove
good
by
town.
it today. It's empty, of course. Ron quit
Right.
this year.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say
Yep.
about that.
So Hermiston.
Hermie.
Yeah.
You know, when we booked
Stop.
Hermiston, I got to
Hermiton.
tell you back when we the Royal Purple Modified Series had the last night we raced at Hermiston, Oregon, in a facility that was kind of it's an interesting racetrack. It's strategically, location-wise, very important to what we do. We booked this date not knowing if it was going to be at Hermiston or if it was going to be at Yakima with the promoter, Greg Walden. Greg's a great guy, and I got to know him a little bit last night, and I got to know him a lot through Facebook and messaging and texting and so forth. But we booked the date knowing we wanted a fourth track, and with RMR closing, we wanted to have a third track in the mix that's as close as we can get, I guess. And there's not a lot of racetracks, there. Hopefully we'll never lose another. But We went in there not knowing what to expect, and I know from the guys that are watching right now and the guys that came up to us after the race, the racers, that was one of the funnest events I've ever been to in my life.
Excellent.
As an official, I don't know that I've ever that's disappointing to a point. But you can have a great show with 8 cars, and we did. And we did.
Yeah.
I would like to have more cars. There's a lot of reasons why we didn't have more cars, which I get into. I'm going to get pissy. So
we don't do that. Hey, we can only have 1/3 of this crew being pissy at any one time.
Because if you
shut right up right now.
No, don't you make me.
If you get pissy, there's gonna be some more F words coming out.
No, I'm not pissy because I had so much fun last night. A fantastic group of people.
Right.
And I'm honored to even be near these folks. Came to race their race cars and have their pit crew and have fun as a family and a team and a group. And we had a newcomer last night, finished third, Herm, from Roseburg area with a beautiful race car crewed by Chuck LaHorge. But the night started out hot laps, qualifying, everything went great. Fast time last night, of course, was Eric Reed in the 66 car, sponsored by Redbone Trucking and Fat Boy Ice Cream.
Fat Boy.
His team, I got to give him a shout out. They hauled one of our cars from Twin Falls, Mr. Scott Gilligan's car, up from Twin Falls in their hauler. And so we ended up with another car because of that. And that's, the type of folks the Redbone is. They're very high quality people, and we've been lucky to have them in the tour. So he set fast time. Aubrey Wortman, second quick time. Neil Latham, third quick time. Fourth quick went to our buddy Willie Thompson out of Oregon. And just a great group of guys. We went into our heat races without a scratch, without anything happening. We had the Willie Thompson car pulled off. What?
Scotty won.
I'm getting there, goddammit. Just
hurry.
We had one car pull off because a valve cover came loose, but Scott Gilligan wheeled his car to a victory over Aubrey Wortman in the second heat race because you can't wait. It was the first heat race I wanted to talk about first, but yeah, Scotty drove a great race. He had been fighting the car in both hot lap sessions, popping out of gear on him. So he made an adjustment, figured it out, bungee corded, JB welded. I don't know what Scott did, but he made it work and did a great job there. And he was tickled. Him and Michelle and the crew were tickled, his sons, to get the car, into victory lane. And way they did everything there. Every heat race winner was a trophy winner that night. We gave them some Royal Purple and handout, and they all did interviews on the front chute. We were lucky enough to have Nate Graves come up with us and be our announcer for the night, and he crushed it. Nate was rare form, high quality. Nate is
when
great.
He's on his game. It's hard to find anyone better. Yeah, even on a bad day.
Let's put it this way: at the end of our main event, we had the stand standing and applauding our main event. And I've never felt like that before.
That's awesome.
I mean, they packed that place. They only had a few seats left to fill. I mean, it was full. And Nate had them all up cheering and going nuts for Eric and for Aubrey and for Herm and Neil and the guys. And it was just a great feeling as a promoter to see that many people entertained by the sport that we love. And that's what I do this for. So there's no energy level waning anymore in me. I'm fired up as I get right now to make this thing work. And there's nobody going to hold me back, even though they may try. And we know what we're talking about here in this room, but we'll leave it there. But there's nobody going to hold me back now. So moving on, second heat race, the best race of the year in our second heat race. Understand we had 4-car heat races, 2 of them. And they were both great races, Aubrey and Scotty. And then Neil started in the inside second row on his heat race. Eric was on his outside. He worked the 47 car firm. Neil got onto the outside with Chad Barker in there as well in the mix. He got on the outside of Herman, worked him on the outside of Hermiston for 4 or 5 laps, hard.
And on the outside of Hermiston is freaking impressive to be able to pull that.
And because it's this and this and it's that, and you got to go left and right. You got to turn right to go left sometimes. And, nobody could hook up. It would have been better to have a crate motor. Scott Gilligan said that today on Facebook, and I 100% agree. It would have been better to have a throttle stop on a crate motor. Because like I said earlier today, my opinion of a modified, big motor, no tire, that's Hermiston. And they were all overmotored.
Oh,
and
yeah.
every one of them. Willie Dalton would have flew in his car with the less motor, and Willie can drive. So Neil got by the 47 car and flat checked out. And both practices, I felt that he was the fastest car. And so they've got that Howe chassis car dialed. I know the boys at Impact Motors, Kyle, Neil, Chad Barker, Dave Latham, Fred Latham, Cody Kirkland. I know they've worked their butts off on getting those cars ready, and it showed. It showed they had their stuff dialed.
That's so cool.
So he won his heat race. Great interview that I wish we could play. We'll put it up on our Turn 5 Live website so that you can see the interviews from Eric from winning the main, and then I'm foreshadowing, and Neil from winning his heat race. I didn't get my phone out quick enough to get Scotty before they interviewed him, so I felt bad, but I love me some Scott. Main event time rolled out. I thought we were going green, white, checkered for sure. There's no doubt in my mind. About lap 20, the 19 car of Willie Thompson was battling Chad Barker. Chad Barker was driving his butt off. The lead was Eric got in the lead.
Well, and Chad had the Dog Bear team there to help him out.
Yes, he did. He had Ray Partridge and he had Gary Lavalette. Yeah. And they're friends and from iRacing and good friends, nice people too.
Good
sweethearts
people.
And
sweethearts.
Yeah, they're just big old teddy bears. Want to hug them up.
Gary,
he means well when he says that.
Teddy bear.
Let me talk.
We'll see you at K&N weekend.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, we're having a barbecue or something the night before. Come on down. Let's do it at my place on a barbecue.
Not mine. My place is a mess.
No, your grandma's house? No, your grandma's house. We're not doing it here. Love you. But main event time. Now, what is your juvenile?
He just has the giggles.
Shadow's getting worked real hard.
So that little contact going in turn one. Spun out trying to keep off of Thompson. Not a lot of room, and we went yellow. Damn it! On the restart, Willie and Chad both went to the back. Willie didn't like it too much, but I didn't care because two cars touched. They both went to the back. But at that point, Aubrey inherited second place. Herm. I can't remember his last name. It's driving me fucking crazy. But Herm inherited third place, and away they went.
You can whisper all you want.
You think at that point,
I was going to say, still picks it up.
With Eric Reed in front, Aubrey Wortman in second, they took off and put on a heck of a show. Aubrey kept trying to run him down. It seemed like she'd close in and he'd pull away, and they were just working it, saving their tires and working it hard. Aubrey was driving her butt off. Eric driving hard, and he had a good position out front, and they hit the setup on that car. Neil and Latham and Herm for 30 laps battling, inside, outside, battling. And these guys, when they got out of their cars at the end of the main, were like, that guy was so cool, man. What a race. They were all fired up. It was a great time. Chad came back. He actually didn't know if his car was bent or not, so he opted to start way in the back. He pulled up on Matt Egley in the 86 car, and Scotty Gilligan in the 87 car, and that 3-car battle ensued as the leaders were coming through them.
Oh, and that would be fun to watch.
Yeah. Chad's radio went dead, and he didn't know the leaders were coming. So we're giving him the flag. Aubrey got used up a bit right there. She didn't get through as clean as Eric did, and Chad felt terrible. But I'm telling you, Aubrey let him know where she wanted to be, and she put him in the groove where she wanted him. And I'm telling you, she's really come alive as a race car driver.
I am thrilled with what she's doing. In that car.
Yeah, she's come in the last couple of years, and they probably won't like hearing this, but it's true, and they'll understand what I'm coming from when I'm done saying it. She now gets modifieds, and she's driving the car, not letting the car come to her, not waiting on the car. She's moving the car around with her throttle and with her wheel and with her brakes. She is now strapping the car on like a sprint car, and there's zero fear. So it's just a matter. She's going to have her first win imminent. She's going to win it. It's all a matter of getting in the traffic correct, and she hasn't had the traffic break. She will win this year. No doubt in my mind, because she's been fast enough every race for the last 4 or 5 races, and and hats off to those guys. They got tangled up pretty hard at Magic Valley. They had to build a ring gear, put a rear end back in the car, straighten a rear end. A lot of parts and so forth went onto the car, and Kirk Wortman, her father, and Susie Wortman, and the team there, and Trevor Christiani, Aubrey's fiance, has put a lot of effort into that car. So, I understand where I'm coming from when I say she's got leaps and bounds better, and I've been around this a while.
Right.
This ain't my second week. It's my third, and the first two went okay. So when I say that, that's a huge compliment. I hope that they take it that way. Eric went on to win the race in a typical Eric Reed fashion, humble and thankful and outstanding man, a good friend. Glad I know him. Clean as a whistle. Thanked the fans, and the fans were standing ovation, and Nate did a great job firing him up. I left there invigorated more than I've been in a long time. And Donovan, you know this because you're an official on my tour. Sometimes I just get, what the fuck are we doing? But we could go fishing, and this would be so much. But after last night and after what we have coming down the road with our film team and the I-10 folks, knowing that's going to happen now, because we are filming all these races. These have been filmed. Last night, you just wait. You guys out there until you see what we have coming this week for the drivers.
2019.
If you didn't show up for this race, you're going to want to never miss another one after what these guys are doing for these folks. There's some very talented people.
I'm jelly.
Yeah, there's some very talented people that are doing some very high-end work coming up for us, and I'm very excited. I can't let everything out of the bag, but those of you that know what I'm talking about, watch the interviews and things that happened. These guys are very good at what they do, and they're behind us 100%, and very pumped, and they're invigorating me. So this old fat boy got reinvigorated, and with an 8-car field, which will be our lowest field that we'll ever have. We'll never have a lower field than that. I know that, but those 8 cars that came were all very competitive, very gentlemanly, ladylike racers, and I can't wait till August 4th. I don't know when the last time I really could say that. There may be going to Diamond Cup that I'm excited for the next race. I'm excited, pumped for the next
4th. Is that at RMR? Or
no, Meridian Speedway. We finished Meridian, Magic, and or Meridian, Magic, Meridian. We do have August 4th and then August 11th or whatever it is. The week we have a back-to-back. So get your cars ready. Get your stuff ready. Let's go have some fun. I'm calling Davey Hamilton, trying to get some more stuff for us to get going so we can give some more stuff away. Let's have some fun. These last 4 races are going to be a kick in the butt. Eric's got a huge point lead. That isn't going to be caught if he shows up. But second place is wide open. I believe right now Neil's sitting in second. Aubrey will be close. Gomez will be back. And we'll get the rest of the cars. So.
Excellent. So good things happening with the Royal Purple Modified Tour right now and in the future as well. It's good to hear.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of good buildup for the off season. Inspire these guys to make their cars better and to get the cars out.
Yeah, I'll put it out there on Turn 5 Live because I got something kicking around the back of my head. I know I got a lot of Utah people that will watch this podcast. And down there at Rocky Mountain Raceways, of course, they have 20-plus cars. And part of the rub has been come and run with us is they think they're outmotored because they have a class rule where they have the 602 crate engine. Yeah, they're outmotored.
At Twin and RMR, they're outmotored.
At Meridian, they're not.
They're less motor is more motor.
Yes, at Pocatello, the track record holder,
we have to go back to Pocatello.
We're not going.
We have to.
I guess my company is for sale. And they can buy it, motherfucker. But until they make some safety improvements, until the promoter can do the things that are necessary to have a tour come in, we can't do that. And my friend Brad Hunsaker will agree, I'm sure. Brendan Watt, Kip Lish, and the group down there. I'd love nothing more than to support those guys. But we need to have a facility that will help us promote those guys.
Yeah.
But no, I'm talking about this is important. I'm talking about the crate engine program that they have down there. You know, they are outmotored, and RMR is such a motor place. They feel like anywhere they go, they're outmotored, but they're not because they haven't experienced it. But I'm really seriously thinking about 2019 having 2 divisions, one an open motor and the second division, the 602 crate engine running for separate points, but at the same race, in the same main event, in the same heat race, qualifying together. And we'll see how it shakes out. That way these guys don't have to buy more motor. I'd have to start teching the 602. I completely understand that. But
now, could you run 2 different point series and
within
one point series at the
race,
same time?
a race within a race.
So you have to open up.
Pepsi Sprint. Think that way.
There you go.
You know.
So you have Series A, Series B, and Series Umbrella.
And I want to put that out there because I know I've had that idea for a while, and I know that there's probably going to be a track or somewhere else that'll steal that idea from me, or just say, "Hey, I had that
lack
idea."
Of creativities,
but no, that's something I've been thinking about. I need to run it by some people, make sure it'll work. But I want 20 plus cars every race, and so do the drivers.
Oh yeah. You want to beat the best and at your best.
And 100% of our races from this point on are filmed.
Yeah,
and they're going to be available, not just on the web. I'm talking
and
about
not just
broadcast.
a stream like at the tracks with the Fans Choice. We're talking edited, produced down, television style.
100%. And these guys are very good. They're very professional, and these guys will have an opportunity to put their sponsors on there. Granted, there won't be an RMR. They're going to have to travel. I can't build a racetrack for them.
You sure?
Well, not yet. I mean, I got to hit the lottery first. But I'm thinking about doing that. And listeners at Redbone hanging out.
Yeah,
that's great. Thank you. Shout out to Team Redbone. Fantastic win this weekend. I love those guys. I was wearing my Redbone shirt, so I was going to represent tonight for my Redbone shirt, but my cat got hair all over it because he was snuggling up, and I had to change him.
On like one of your 2 naps that you had today.
I was asleep when I texted you. I was on the way. Me and my old lady were my
he
wife
wakes up like an hour before showtime. Like, I guess I'm coming.
My beautiful wife Camille and I both were dozed on the couch because here's my plan. I got to tell you what my day was like, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got done last night about 12:30. We hit the hotel over in Pendleton. I fell asleep, had the best sleep I've had in years. Some freaking phone thing woke me up, because like alarm, and I had to drive home. But I was right in the middle of this dream as somebody was stealing my cat, and it was just nasty stuff. But I had a great sleep. Tomorrow morning, I get up at 3:30 in the morning and I drive to Utah to work. So I've been driving for like 3 days. So yeah, I was asleep. So I will Redbone. I'm going to come to see you guys. We'll go to lunch. But that's what I got. What do you guys got?
I pretty much.
What are we looking ahead at? We got to look ahead.
Yeah.
We got what's going on next week?
Who's doing what where?
I know I'm going to the mountains or something.
You go to the mountains?
I got 4 weeks off. We don't run again until August 4th. It's time for some mountain therapy for this boy.
That sounds fantastic.
Let's go look at some stars and jump in a hot tub or something.
Where about you heading?
I don't care. Let's get one of World's Campers. I got a truck.
Right? Lazy Days RV Rentals. Check them out on Facebook.
Hey, Jennifer, Jason, if you are listening, I need to know what they rent for. And I'm ready.
Well, I tell you what. Let's see here. Magic Valley Speedway. I'll kick things off. Yeah, on July 14th, this coming Saturday, we got Super Stocks. We got the vans coming back out again.
There we go.
Right.
Blue, white, and green one out front.
Mini stock double main events.
Yeah.
Lion Tamer mini stocks once again. Street stocks. Hornets, Junior Stingers, and double deckers. Wow, that's a full night of racing right there.
That is.
Wow.
Double deckers and vans.
Yeah. Wow.
Mountains.
Vans.
What do we got going? What do we got going at Meridian?
Over at Meridian 14.
S'mores.
I do not have my glasses on. That's a bit small to read. Let me just roll over here. Go this way.
Get Pit Stop USA modified double mains. God knows they run enough mains. Let's have some more of them.
Yeah.
I think what does that give the what do they call them now? The pitstopusa.com NASCAR modified double mains. So it's like 32 mains this year. I don't know.
Yeah, plus a 0 or 2.
Yeah.
So we got the mods are running double mains. Got the Chorus Super Stocks, Domino's Legends.
Boy.
I saw that.
Hell Performance Claimers, doing Twin 25s, and the Junior Stingers. Junior Stingers are really developing out this year.
Yeah.
Much better than the poor high school tuners are faring.
Yeah, we never talk about things like the trains down at RMR and shit like that. We got to talk about train racing, man. We need the train racing update. We need a roving reporter to have train racing update. Maybe we can get Patrick in here train racing.
Anybody out there have a train racing update they want to give us?
We need some train racing.
I will give a case of Royal Purple to
you don't have a case of Royal Purple.
I have an empty case of
you got the box, the case that it came in.
There's like residue.
So let's review what we're going to give away something tonight. Is that what it was?
We're going to give away some power steering fluid for the best question asked, but I don't see a question. Nobody asked a question.
Okay.
We have a couple of statements.
I have some statements.
Nobody.
Jeremy White. Yeah. Scott Gilligan. Oh, we have one question from Scott Gilligan. He said, why are we offline? That's the only question we have. I guess Scott wins some Royal Purple.
Scott has the question of the day.
Question mark. Why are we offline?
Power steering fluid
we
coming
don't know, Scott. We're offline. Because if we knew, we'd have fixed it.
But I did fix it because we were offline and now we're online.
We're not right, though. You have no sound effects, no camera shots, no
I know.
Stuff. It's only
push
been
the
8
buttons.
weeks or something. We're figuring it out slowly.
It'll get better.
He can be taught.
It'll get better.
Demon be gone. Demon be gone.
It's because they run a Honda, isn't it?
I never run Honda.
Mm.
I think he got popcorn lung from vaping too much.
Hey,
Popcorn lung.
On behalf of DJ and Tom Labrani, this is Donovan Johns at Turn 5 Live. That is our July 8th, 2018 show. May the beers be with you.
Thanks, guys.
See you next Sunday.